What up, brawlers? Welcome back to Throwing Hands. It's me. It's Breck. We were in the Shadow Realm for a little bit. Not gonna lie, but we have since departed the Shadow Realm, and we're here to preview UFC Fight Night, Hermansson versus Strickland. Breck, how you doing?
Doing good. It's been a while. Just excited to get back to talking about fighting, and we were just talking about it before. It's like this is a good card, and we'll talk about it later. But like the excitement is starting to build up for the next pay-per-view.
Oh, for sure. We're gonna get into
this is a good little taste. This fight night.
a little taste,
a little appetizer for the pay-per-view.
For the main card. Well, oh yeah, for the pay-per-view. Just get us a little bit ready. There's a couple interesting fights on the prelims. Hakeem Duwadu versus Michael Trizano. I think Duwadu has a lot of potential to make some moves in this division if he can string a couple together. What do you think?
Yeah. Who was his last fight that we watched?
He fought Evolov and lost.
Evolve. Okay, yeah. I mean, he looked okay in that fight. Went the distance. It's a tough one to call. All these Canadian fighters seem to have been losing lately. I don't know if you've noticed, but
yeah,
all the Canadian fighters are losing after they've burst onto the scene. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna take Duwadu by decision though. I think he beat Trizano.
Yeah, I mean, what's it called? Trizano's fight history doesn't really have a lot of finishes in his career. And I think Dawood's probably got a little more power, so that's got to favor him. I agree. I think Dawood probably wins this one.
All right. Gosh darn, I gotta move something to the side. Jason Witt and Philip Rowe, interesting fight. Alexis Davis versus Stoliarenko. There's a few good fights here on the prelims. These prelims aren't half bad actually.
No, they're all right.
Let's get to the meat and the potatoes of why we're here, Breck. And that's the main card. Julian Arose versus Steven Peterson. I was watching Dan Hardy today. Do you watch Dan Hardy, Breck?
Not really. I don't, if I'm being honest. I'm not the biggest Dan Hardy fan, to be honest.
But his breakdowns are phenomenal. But anyway,
he is good. I think they should have kept him on too as a commentator.
Yeah,
criticized him at the time for the whole Herb Dean thing, and he was maybe a little bit out of line. But looking back, he was kind of right.
Yeah, that fight should have been stopped. But Julian Arose versus Steven Peterson, man. Julian Arose is at, I forget who said this. Oh, Dan Hardy said. Well, that's why I was talking about Dan Hardy. Dan Hardy said Arose is at the point in his career where he either is finishing or getting finished, because he's trying to propel himself to the top. He's about 33, I think. Julian, don't be offended. Oh, Throwing Hands alum, by the way, Julian Arose. Fun fact.
Shout out.
But check out that interview. Second person to ever come on. But Steven Peterson, his last fight was a beat down on Chase Hooper. He abused a child.
That's the only thing about that fight is like Chase Hooper is still so young.
Yeah,
you're right.
So
he beat up a kid.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He beat up a kid. It's not really an impressive win. But who you got in this one, man? What are your thoughts?
I like Arosa. Like you said, if you look at his fight history, he's got a good amount of finishes in there. He's been finished, but he knocks out a lot of people, and I don't see it going any other way because, like you just said, I think this is a step up in competition for Peterson.
Yeah, for sure. And Arosa's won 3 of his last 4, so he's fighting his way in the UFC after 2 previous stints that didn't turn out too well. All righty. Tresean Gore versus Ryan Battle. Ryan Battle winning the Ultimate Fighter. And I think Gore was on the Ultimate Fighter too, right?
This was supposed to be the fight. This was supposed to be the final fight, I believe.
Yeah.
That's right. So Battle fought another guy on one of those fight nights for his debut, was getting rocked, and then came back to win. So this was originally supposed to be the fight. To be honest, though, of that Ultimate Fighter season, I don't know about you. I watched it like very little. I was so disinterested in that season. It was.
I did not watch it, and now Pena and Nunez are going to be the
I know
coaches.
it's like they couldn't have done Masvidal, Colby. We can get to that later, but like that would have been so good.
That would have been awesome. You're not wrong, but
These two guys are talented though. That's not to take away. There was good fighters on that season.
yeah,
Ultimate
and
season.
the other finale, I think it was the featherweight finale, was phenomenal. It was a great fight.
Yeah.
But who you got in this one, man? I'm going to take Ryan Battle.
I'm also going to take Ryan Battle. Gorgeous is a little too inexperienced for me. If you look at his fights, I mean, only 4 professional fights, 1 fight, one UFC, quote unquote UFC fight. And then Brian Battle, I thought he looked really good in that last fight. He was getting pieced up in that first round, but came back to win and poured it on the guy in the last 2 rounds. So I like Battle, a little more experience. I mean, Gore does have the size advantage, but I think Battle takes it.
Yeah,
Also,
for sure.
coming off an ACL injury,
That's tough.
You never know how the fighter's gonna move on that leg.
Yeah, it's tough. All right, next fight.
Sanction burner for next fight.
Sam Alvey versus Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen, his most recent win was against he lost to Chris Curtis. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he lost to Chris Curtis.
But he's beaten Roberson and Soriano. So I think Brendan Allen's a solid fighter in all honesty.
He beat Kyle Dawkins last year.
Yeah, he has talent. And then you have Sam Alvey, who's lost like 7 out of his last 8 or something like that. And the one he didn't lose was a no contest, if I'm not mistaken.
It's amazing he's still in the OC, and they cut Jimmy Rivera and people that are like in their prime and still talented. I mean, dude, his last was against Gian Vellante. I mean,
John Vellante?
Vellante in 2018.
Really?
Split decision. I mean, his last really good win was 2017, where he beat an older Rashad Evans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like it's time for him. I know he's 35, so he's not that old. But dude, when you're on that,
he's not that great.
Yeah, that's the thing. His skills. He fought so many. Dude, you look at his fight history. Look how many times he fought from 2015 to 2018.
He's fought everybody.
He fought like 3 or 4 times a year. That's why they probably love him at the UFC. He's like a company guy. He always just fights when they ask him to.
And he's willing to step in like he did for this fight.
Yeah, he's got this loyalty to, Dana's got this loyalty to him. And it's like, if he loses this fight, he's had a decent career, good career. They gotta get ready, move on.
Yeah. So speaking of moving on, I think Brendan Allen takes this by knockout.
Yeah, I agree. I think probably like second, third round. I think the first round they feel each other out, but you got to favor the young kid who's only 26, and he's had a few losses in the past, but
there's a lot of potential.
A lot of potential. That's the thing. He's still young in the game. I mean, that's the thing. If he can't beat a Sam Alvey, how far will he ever go? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely agree.
I like Allen KO. Honestly, maybe first round.
Yeah, who knows? All right. Prospect battle right here. Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Carlston Harris. Rakhmonov's a savage. I don't think there's any other way to put it. This guy, I remember watching his first fight in the UFC, and I believe it was on Fight Island.
I believe so, yeah.
Just pure domination.
Pure domination.
He beat Alex Oliveira, I think. Oh, he fought on the Habib Gaethje card. That's right.
Yeah.
He beat Cowboy Oliveira. Dude, it was demolition.
Demolition.
I want to say Cowboy Oliveira missed weight.
I can't remember.
Hold on, let me look it up. But I think Carlston Harris is in for a wild ride. What do you think?
I think if you look at their career so far, pretty similar. fighting in a lot of different organizations. They both only have 2 UFC fights. And Carlson Harris, from what little I've watched of him, I just watched some highlights before. Like, he seems like a decent fighter, but like you said, this Rakhmonov guy has a presence about him, almost Hamzat-like, where him and Hamzat, like, I feel like burst onto the scene, and the ceiling is the roof. Like, the potential for these guys is crazy. This guy has no holes, dude. He's so young. And
How old is he?
27.
God.
And I know it's early, and maybe the competition isn't the best of the best. But dude, from the fights we watched, like you said, the wrestling, the grappling, the striking. I mean, where does this guy have a weakness? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just remember watching that Cabo Oliveira fight, and I literally went, "Oh my gosh!"
He's such a beast for 170. Like, I think he's a real problem in the future.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, she says that wait, does Shevchenko rep Kazakhstan?
I believe so, yes.
I mean, he's from a land of other savages too.
I know, dude. I'm pretty sure he has like Mongolian blood.
Yeah, I think he does.
Which is like absurd, like, which is insane, because, like, if you know anything about the history of like Mongolian lineage, like, just savage warriors, so it makes sense.
Like Dinah Batgarel in the flyweights. I mean, there's a lot of good fighters in a Mongol. But anyway, I don't see any way for Harris winning this fight, to be honest. I think Rakhmonov's just going to smother him.
Yeah, I think we might see a knockout. I think he won his last 2 fights by submission, but I think we might see a knockout.
It's entirely possible.
Look into it.
Look into it. It's on YouTube, man. It's on YouTube, right, Breck?
You know, that's what Eddie Bravo taught me.
Dude, just find it on YouTube if you have questions. But interesting fight here. Nick Maximov, I believe he's a Diaz training partner.
Yeah, and he's the one that isn't he the one that is he a welterweight or middleweight?
Yeah, he's this is a welterweight match.
That was like Nate Diaz. Hamzat called out Nate Diaz, and this is the kid that Nate was like, you'll fight Hamzat instead of me. And then they cut to this kid, and he was like, I don't know about that.
Wait, was that the same event where Nate Diaz like flinched at the guy with the water cup and he like dropped all of his water?
That was the same event. That was an amazing thing. But
that was hilarious.
I'm pretty sure this is the kid that when like Hamzat called out Nate, he was like, "You fight my training partner, Nick Maximov." But it should be real interesting, this fight, man. This is like low key.
Maximov Pulele Soriano is a beast, man.
Low key, like we just said, he lost to Brendan Allen last time, but he's pretty talented in his own right.
Yeah, he's young.
I mean, this is like a futures battle, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot going for Soriano here. It's just, yeah, Maximov trains with very good fighters.
I know.
Over in Sacktown, and he's the undefeated as well. It's just he did beat Cody Brundage. Interesting matchup. I think Soriano is going to take it by decision. What do you think?
Interesting. I'll go the opposite. I'll go Maximov. I think training with the Diaz brothers is got to be like, it's got to, not wear on you, but like he must take a lot of things from them. You know what I mean? Like their boxing style, and I just wonder. We saw Soriano take a lot of damage in that last fight, so I wonder if he's open to taking that same type of day. You know what I mean? The openings are there for Maximov. For
sure. So who do you have?
I'll go Maximov, third round decision.
All right. Two wavering opinions here. Two different opinions.
It'll be a really good fight. It'll be a very good fight of future, top guys in the division probably.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of interesting fight, this main event is really interesting, and I don't think many people are really looking at this too much.
It's super interesting, dude.
Like
It's a battle of styles,
like Jack Hermansson versus Sean Strickland. Here we go. Jack Hermansson coming off win against what's his face? Edmund Shabazian.
Yeah.
And Strickland coming off win against Uriah Hall. We sadly know how Shabazian's turned out after he lost to Derek Brunson.
He's the best boxing coach in the world.
Oh, Evan Taverdi.
Best boxing coach in the world.
Dude, Rousey could beat Mayweather.
Once said that Ronda could beat the men in her division.
Well, no question.
No question.
But Jack Hermansson's probably the best grappler in this division. The more I think about it,
he's up there. It would be interesting to see a grappling match between him and a Usman or a Hamzat, straight grappling. He could definitely hold his own.
Yeah, I mean, he got destroyed by Hamzat in that wrestling match, but that's wrestling.
Yeah, it's true.
But Jack Hermansson, man, if he grabs a hold of you, I mean, have fun. Good luck.
It's true, but it's got to get to the ground first,
Yeah, and every fight starts on the feet. But I think Sean Strickland is one of the more unique talents in this division. He stands so straight up.
I know he's like an old school fighter. It's awesome.
And heavy on his feet, but
he's got an iron chin and he's crazy. So it makes for. If you listen to any press conferences this week, Sean Strickland is chaos incarnate. He is chaos personified. Like every word that comes out of his mouth, I'm like, it's crazy that this guy is like
alive,
walking free in public. Like there's things that he says, you're like, oh my God. It's good. It's good that he's fighting and he has like something to do, because if he didn't,
he has an outlet.
He has an outlet, because if he didn't, he'd be a menace to society.
I mean, dude, did you see that he was sparring with Reyes a week before the fight with 4-ounce gloves, no headgear, no pads, nothing.
And he's screaming at Reyes. Dude, I kind of love it. I love the chaos.
He's a wild card, man.
He is a wild card.
I just laugh whenever I hear this dude speak. I'm like,
him and Kevin Holland are the only two fighters that like you hear their conversations mid-fight.
Yeah, but Kevin Holland's at least a little more dumbed down.
Yeah, a little bit, a lot more dumbed down.
Yeah, a little bit's an understatement. But back to the fight. This is a fun matchup stylistically.
Yeah,
like we said,
Striker versus grappler.
But I think Jack Hermansson's a little underrated on the feet, in my opinion.
He's okay.
He can throw some interesting strikes. We've seen him do it.
He can, but I look at his last 4 fights. He's lost to Vittoria and Cannonier. No shame. Those are like 2 of the top guys.
They're both 2 and 3.
He submitted Gastelum quickly because I think the longer that fight went on, it favored Gastelum. So you might want to see. He might go with the same type of thing here, where he tries to go for an early ankle pick or Imanari roll maybe. But like the win against Shabazian, even though he did end it with strikes, I believe, or I mean it just ended. But he was getting pieced up in the first round. He did change his strategy and then dominated the rest of the fight, but did get hit a lot, and that was Shabazian. Yeah. Good talent, but I think Strickland is a little bit. I think Strickland right now is pretty underrated in terms of top talent of the division. Like, what is he on a 5-fight win streak? And dude, like you look back at his losses in the UFC, dude, he's been knocked out once. To like who is this person that he got knocked out to?
He got knocked out by Cannonier.
No, Strickland.
Oh, Strickland. He probably got knocked out at welterweight.
Elizeu Zalek dos Santos.
Really?
See, like, I don't even know this guy. This is who knocked out Sean Strickland, which is pretty crazy. But, dude, you look at one of his losses, 2017, look who he lost to. He lost to Kamaru Usman in a unanimous decision. So if I know that's, like, different times, but if Usman didn't take down Strickland at will and, like, submit him back then, I don't see Jack Hermansson doing it now. You know what I mean? I
understand.
I think Strickland's takedown defense is pretty good because he wants to keep it on the feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his takedown defense is 82%.
It's pretty high, and I think it'll stay like that this fight, and I think it'll be kept on the feet for the most part. I think Jack will obviously get a few takedowns. That'll be interesting. But if it's kept on the feet and it goes into rounds 3, 4, 5, you got to favor Strickland, in my opinion.
I agree, but I just think I think Jack Hermansson is the dark horse in this division. I'm not even gonna lie.
I don't. I think
I think he can win the belt.
I don't know. I don't think he beats the top guys.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
I think Cannonier is more of a dark horse than Hermansson.
Yeah. All right, Breck, predictions.
I'll go Strickland 4th round TKO.
I'll go Hermansson 3rd round submission.
Ooh, Styles make fights.
Styles do make fights, but let's remember, every fight starts on the feet.
Strickland wins this, dude, he'll be 25-3 overall, and he'll be on a 6-fight win streak. Like, where does he go? I know we're looking into the future, but where does he go in terms of the division if he wins this fight? Like,
Darren Till,
top 5 guy right away?
No.
I
mean, he can fight Vettori, but I think Vettori beats him.
That would be interesting. They're buddies. They're both crazy too, so it makes sense.
I still don't know how Marvin Vettori didn't get knocked out by Paulo Costa by one of those head kicks.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
I don't know if it's you, man, but I gained so much respect for Marvin after
Marvin Vettori. Yes.
Marvin.
I agree. Strickland's not even ranked, right?
Strickland's ranked 7th.
Oh no, yes. Oh, middleweight. I'm looking at welterweight. 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
And Strickland said he wanted to kill somebody in the octagon.
That's true. Dude, you know what? Really fun matchup? Paulo Costa, Sean Strickland. That would be interesting. Can you imagine the trash talk between Sean Strickland and Paulo Costa at a press conference? Like, Paulo Costa wouldn't understand a word he's saying, and Sean Strickland would be saying like crazy stuff.
Someone would get arrested.
Probably.
There's no question. But a couple news things. Jeremy Stevens is no longer in the UFC.
Yeah, pouring out for the homie. I mean, he kind of was a little bit over. His stay was overdue. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he overstayed his welcome.
Yeah, he lost a lot of his recent fights, but a legend though. People shouldn't take he's a legend of the sport.
Yeah,
dude, fought
anybody.
Fought anybody. He fought like 12 years inside the UFC. His fight record, I was looking at the other day, like for a good 5-year stretch there, dude, he was a problem. You know what I mean? He was one of the top.
I think he beat RDA.
At RDA's like prime too.
Yeah, he knocked out RDA.
Yeah, so he was really good in his prime.
And he also beat Dennis Bermudez, Henan Barao, Josh Emmett. I mean, he beats some pretty good guys. Darren Elkins.
Yeah, his fighting style just kind of like shortened his career. You know, he was he had that Gaethje where he was so reckless.
Yeah, and then you look at his last 5 fights: Yair twice, Zabit, Cater, Mateusz Gamrot, who's a problem. Like he fought some really good guys, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gamrot's ranked 12th in the lightweight division right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, like he fought the very best till the end of his career. That's the thing.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Eagle FC?
To be honest, I didn't watch any of it live. I watched some clips on Twitter that were shown of it. I mean, it seemed to go well, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
The reviews of it, people seem to be happy with it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Got a cool name.
Yeah, it does have a cool name.
Better than
Uh,
name-
better than Bellator.
name Bellator angers me to no end, dude. It's like a Roman.
Why?
Because it's like a Roman name that they gave, and it's like, I think it means like warrior or whatever. It's like soldier, fighter, or something in in Latin. And it's like, dude, you're trying too hard. Like the public will not understand the meaning behind that. They look at that and they're like, what is that? What does that
Unless
even?
you took Latin class.
Which is like 0.2% of people.
And I am part of that 0.2%.
Yeah, you're like the rarest of the rare when it comes to that.
I'm a rare breed, man. Cormier does not think Izzy's the middleweight GOAT. Compares Anderson Silva to Muhammad Ali.
It's not a crazy comparison, but in their primes, saying, because Anderson did fall off a lot, but in the prime, yeah, I mean, the thing about how are we talking about that yet when Izzy still has 5 years left? You know what I mean? At the top, we'll learn a lot in this next fight. Like if he dominates this next fight, serious conversation needs to be had. But where does Izzy rank compared to Anderson?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting how he doesn't consider John Jones to be the GOAT because of PEDs, but yeah, he talks about Anderson Silva so highly, even though he got caught with PEDs.
I mean, yeah, who knows? Like Nate Diaz, when it all comes down to that type of stuff, dude, I think of Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz when they're like, everybody's juicing,
Yeah.
So who knows?
Do you see juiced with Popeyes?
He did. There's some other good fight announcements I'm looking through.
Oh yeah. Blachowicz, Rakic off. Sad day.
Yeah, sad. That was the one you're going to, right?
Yes, I'm still going to it. I'm not gonna, cop out.
Sad,
but it's still a great card.
It is still a great card. It got pushed back like 2 months? That fight?
Yeah, but they're still looking for a main event.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm telling you, Burns Hamzat.
Oh yeah, Burns Hamzat would be great because they haven't. Even though Hamzat fought like more recently, he would be willing to fight. You know what I mean? And Burns fought Thompson in the summer?
Yeah, in July.
So yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So Chase Hooper's fighting. It's interesting.
Oh, what's it called? Jessica Andrade fighting Amanda Lemos.
That's a weird matchup because Lemos isn't even ranked.
Yeah, I know. She's kind of scary though. Like she's pretty good.
Yeah, she's scary. I bet you they're just trying to find somebody to propel up into the rankings. Like, let's say Lemos beats Andrade, which I don't think will happen. Like,
yeah,
she could. I don't think Valentine's ever going to lose that belt. I think she's going to retire with it.
I just hope she fights Nunes.
Oh, I do too. We need Nunes to get that belt back.
Yeah. I mean, these are a little bit older now, but Donald Cowboy Cerrone, Joe Lowe's on.
Yeah.
In April. I really hope.
Fights between the two of them.
Yeah, I really hope Cerrone wins and then retires on the spot. Because he's.
Yeah.
It's I mean he's taken so much damage. He's such a legend. Like win the fight, retire.
I agree.
And then, dude, the return of Gustafsson too in May.
Yeah, he's fighting Big Ben Rothwell.
Interesting matchup. I mean, it's a good matchup for Gustafsson considering his last matchup was Verdum and he got tapped in like a minute.
Yeah. Holly Holmes fighting Ketlin Vieira. Good fight, dude. Holly Holmes been around forever, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering when the time's gonna come.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a sad day.
If Holly Holm gets another shot at the belt before she retires.
She wins this.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, look for any other fights that were made recently. It's been pretty tame.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No, not at all.
Oh, Ed Herman will fight Maxim Grishin. That's a fun fight.
Yeah.
Luis Saldana's fighting. Diakise will fight Borshev. That's a good fight.
Yeah.
There's one other thing I wanted to talk about. And I can't remember what it is. Ooh, okay. This is what we need to talk about, Breck. So Francis Ngannou.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the way the UFC contract works is that so he's going to get surgery in March, and then he's gonna have a 9-month recovery period. His UFC contract ends in January because how it works is when you win your championship bout, your contract automatically gets renewed for one more fight,
Right. Yeah.
and then uh if you don't fight, obviously your contract goes away. I think the UFC needs to book Jones Miocic ASAP.
I agree. They're screwing over Francis like in every way possible. But it seems like Francis has his mind made up that he wants to fight Fury. Which, can you blame him? He's gonna make more money than he ever has.
Just gonna get more brain damage than he ever has.
Maybe. But I think if he fights Fury, it'll be like Conor. He'll return to the UFC eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe they make it. I think DC said this, and this makes more sense than making an interim title for Cyril Gane, which was absurd. Make the interim title Stipe Jones.
Exactly.
And then you could even have the winner of Stipe. So say Jones beats Stipe, right, in the interim title fight. That'll take like a year for that fight to like happen, and then the fight happens, and then the time afterwards, both guys time off. That'll be about like a year probably. So in that year, Ngannou recovers, fights Fury, and then say Ngannou needs more time to come back for the unification bout. You have Jones or Stipe, whoever wins, fight like Derek Lewis. There you go. And then whenever Ngannou's ready, he comes back. Hopefully better compensated. So he's,
That's interesting. But then
I was thinking about it.
That's
what, like, but like, I don't know. The UFC, I don't know if they're smart enough or not even smart enough, just like too arrogant to do something like that.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see Ngannou fight in the octagon again, to be honest.
It's a real possibility. I mean, maybe outside the UFC.
So I think John Jones is gonna be the champ.
If Ngannou's out of the division, probably. It's just they should really try to make up with Ngannou because like he's such a star. And if I ask any casual MMA fans, they know who Francis Ngannou is. You know what I mean? Like they've heard the story. They're like, that's a crazy story. What a fighter. And like he's just entering his prime too. If this were any other division, the UFC wouldn't be fumbling the bag so much. You know what I mean? It's just the history of the heavyweight division. Like Ariel Helwani had Randy Couture on, and there was like a similar situation back in the day in the mid 2000s with Randy Couture, where I think they wanted to get rid of him, but he kept winning, into his 40s.
He was different, man.
Yeah. You know what the crazy part about Randy Couture is? He started fighting at like 35.
Yeah.
36.
Yeah.
Imagine, when he was younger.
Yeah. Or like something like Brock Lesnar at the same time. Imagine if Brock just went to MMA straight out of college.
Yeah.
That would be scary as all hell.
Yeah, definitely.
I think John and Stipe will fight sometime early spring, midsummer. No, late spring, midsummer, something like that. Between then, like May and July.
Yeah, I could see it.
I think if Francis doesn't get any progress by August, he might vacate his title. Say I'm done.
Good. It's
not. Then Jones becomes the undisputed champ.
Possibly.
Dude, Jones in the division is scary, man.
We shall see. You know what I mean? A lot of time off.
Yeah.
It does the camp, the Cejudo camp that he's with seems to be like, in terms of maybe not the best camp, but it's like slowly morphing into one of the best camps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got Prohaska over there now.
Yeah, he was training over there. Our Czech samurai.
Our legend.
Or legend. He's gonna beat Glover, dude. I love Glover, but
Glover's not quick enough.
he's not quick. Exactly.
Here's how Glover wins this fight. He grabs him within 5 seconds of
Yeah, and takes him
fight
down.
starting.
But then I don't know, man. Yuri's pretty tricky on the ground too. Hard to keep down.
And then, if he's practicing on the ground with John Jones.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck for that.
And, the more I think about it, there's no grappler at nearly John Jones' level in the heavyweight division. Maybe Curtis Blades.
Probably Curtis Blades. Tom Aspinall's not a bad grappler, but UK grappler, you know what I mean? Not too well experienced. Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe outside of Curtis. Stipe? Stipe's good.
He's okay.
Yeah. If Stipe was like great at grappling, he would have beat Ganu in the rematch, I feel like, Like he couldn't take him down. Oh, you know what I wanted to mention about Ganu, which was crazy?
What?
That heel hook on that Gon landed on him.
Yeah.
If the ACL was in fact torn, that's probably why he didn't tap, because it was already torn. Like there was not that much pain, which is crazy to think.
Wow. I didn't think about that.
Right? Because that was
he was already screwed up.
That was a deep heel hook, dude. That looked pretty deep. Like he looked like I thought that fight was over right there. And then we learn after the fight that leg had a torn ACL. Maybe that's why he didn't tap.
He had a torn MCL and a partially torn ACL, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Gosh. But yeah, that's insane. That's damn, bro.
And
Dude, there's so
time, like just built different.
Simply built different. All right, Breck. You have anything else to add?
No, we covered most of it.
Yeah, we did. All right, guys, I'll do it for this episode of Throwin Hands. You can catch us basically anywhere you can find your podcasts, YouTube too. But we'll catch y'all later. Peace out.
Peace out.